There we go. Hey everyone. Good to see ya. Kaiju-Z back at it again on another Monday with Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. Yes, everyone, it's been another week if you only watch my Monday stuff. Or 6 days if you watch Monday, Tuesday, whatever, do the side quests. But yes, we finally are at that point in every expansion since Shadowbringers where we unlock the role quests. Starting with Shadowbringers, there were 4 separate quest lines: tank, DPS, magic DPS, and healer. And then they split those up into tank, melee, ranged, magic DPS, and then healer, with Endwalker onwards. And now we're at that point. As the night draws close and the skies get gray, with any ships in the air, we're back at it again with Mrawa'a crew. Just moments after the fight between Gulujaja and Zoraoja, the invader, and we witnessed the patricide at the hands of Zoraoja. Before that, we had a Wild West adventure. Here's the hat. Could be helped. And now, as everyone is tending to the wounded, Mrawa'a has received a call to action. A call to action from 5 different individuals, each in need of aid to recuperate a bunch of artifacts stolen during all this chaos. Mrawa'a is most effective on the field of battle after all. So that's what Mrawa'a's gonna be doing. But which one are we doing first? We've got tank, we got melee DPS, we got range DPS, we got caster DPS, and we have healer. It doesn't necessarily matter in which order we do them, but we still need to do them. So do them we shall, as we head over to a certain tower. As I am in the melee DPS job right now, we are obviously able to see the melee DPS 1, but that's not our goal. We're not going as a melee DPS, potentially. We might. Well, we also might not. We're not helping Shashipya. We're not helping Nipine. We're not helping Rolja. We're not helping Lozequia. No. As it is. For the first time in a hot minute. We're going magic DPS. We're going red mage. My favorite casting job. Yes, you were wondering. Yes, I did do art to start us off. I just realized I didn't finish posting that I'm starting. Ah! Man. In that case, yes. Trusty blade in hand. Wild Rose. We're gonna save the day. Tsuhe. Oh, hello. The Brookhaven sent you to help recover our stolen treasure. Thank the heavens. Judging by your accoutrement, you learned the arcane arts, yes? If so, we have need of your power and wisdom. Just wait, someone stop me. They're gonna regret it. Truth be told, it is wisdom that we require most. You see, even though the treasure has been guarded by our people for generations, we know little of its true nature. Go on. In ages past, the forces of our homeland were plagued with terrible beasts, a constant source of fear and danger. To combat this menace, our mages spent many moons researching the treasure known as the Perch of the Apex. Upon unlocking its secrets, they were able to drive the monsters from the woods, bringing peace at last. With the threat to be all but eradicated, our forebears forbade any further use of the treasure and enshrined it within the village. As years passed, we slowly forgot what it was to live in fear. Yet as our struggles faded into memory, stories surrounding the perch of the apex became legend, then myth. Now none living are certain of its true power. Yet the peace was shattered by a member of the Passage of the Unbound. The villain wheedled his way into our trust, then stole upon my husband, the treasure's appointed guardian, catching him unaware with a terrible blow that left him unconscious. He has yet to awaken, so my daughter, Tepeke, is set forth to retrieve what was stolen. Unlike her father, she has no skill in arcane arts, and chose the path of the sword. That's why I have been seeking someone with knowledge she lacks. Should the ancient power be unleashed, please, if you can find it in your heart to help Tepeke, I will be forever grateful. If there is a mystic artifact involved, consider it done. If there is a mystic artifact involved, count me in. You have my thanks, especially considering that Juliana will also benefit from your aid. Now our only clue to the thief's whereabouts is from something he mentioned during his stay in our village. He spoke of his desire to bring change to the place called Radz-at-Han. This is where Tepeke decided to begin her search, so she boarded a ferry bound there by way of Limsa, with a trusted sword and shield close at hand. That's how you know her. I'm assuming she's her mother's daughter? She agreed to stay in Radz-at-Han to gather information until aid arrived. Hey! Virgo met 2020. Nothing of the place, but likely she can be found in a marketplace or some such. Please, bring her treasure, and my daughter's safely home. Hey there. I'm doing okay. Just doing the side quests in Final Fantasy XIV. Dawntrail, specifically the role quests. Currently on the caster quest line. Just started it. Yeah. Who might you be, Yapa? /James. It's going good. I just started for today. I technically not started just now, but started the stream, and I am gonna be going through a few quests here. Stream might be shorter than usual, or might be longer, depending on how fast I get through things. There's our sword zone. Oh, are you looking for me? Whatsoever for? I met your mother. She made me know. Mrawa'a, did you say my mother sent you? I take it that she's already explained the details, such as how we know next to nothing of the treasure and its capabilities. We have only the legends passed down through our forebears to go on. They speak of a Vitral of a now that once terrorized the forest, whose soul is sealed within the perch of the apex. The tales have only become more vague as the mists of time obscure the treasure's origin. Even our village's eldest members, naught but an ominous warnings uttered by those who once wielded its magics. Remembers not. Whoops. Not members or remembers. Okay. Hope you're having a good day. The bastard the apex shall be showered with good fortune, yet leave only sorrow in their wake. Concerning. It's clear that despite owing their safety to the apex power, our forebears viewed it as something to be feared. It must be truly immense. Are you reading the script, James? Now on to the matter of the thief. Even during our brief acquaintance, he made plain his desire to bring change to Radz-at-Han. Actually, I've started my search here, and have been seeking anyone who's expressed dissatisfaction with the status quo. Sure enough, I soon heard stories of a recent arrival, a self-styled savior of Radz-at-Han, who proclaims that he will lead the city to greatness. He calls himself the Justicar. He'll not been saved, son. One of those guys. He's apparently taken on the burden of personally exterminating the beasts which infest Fafnir's wilds. He made a great show of proclaiming he'll only stick to the task. While he certainly draws a crowd with his boasting, they only watch with morbid curiosity as he sets off into the jungles alone. Perhaps this could have nothing to do with our problem, but even the smallest lead must be pursued. I've heard he often gives his speeches at the region's smaller settlements. So, shall we go to see the Justicar for ourselves? Yes, let's. Considering you're not answering me, I'm gonna suspect this is a script and you're trying to sell me something. It is decided. Our Yetimat would be a good place to start. Hopefully there we can find our next crumb of a clue. Off we go. Oh, they look cool. Okay, let's go to Yetimat. I've been playing this game since 2023. Is the answer you're probably looking for. So I'm giving you the answer. Yes, I am here. I don't think you heard me. I said I've been playing this game since 2023. I also asked if you were reading from a script with that question, which I guess you didn't hear. You're a machine, aren't you? We're looking for the Justicar too. One of the soldiers just went after him. Mrawa'a, we're in luck. The boy saw the very men we seek. It seems he gave the same grand speech about saving the people, claiming that danger lurked nearby before venturing forth to combat it alone. Can we skip to the part where you're trying to offer me something, James? The Radiant Host could not well stand idle if there truly were beasts afoot, so one of them followed him. And all we need to do is pick up their trail. He ran towards the shroud, but you might be able to spot him from Kaiju-Z's footsteps. You can see the whole forest out from there. Thank you, Huron boy. Thanks, been very helpful. So Mrawa'a, let's head there and see what we can see. What are you trying to sell me, James? Now then, let's begin our search. Since I've never actually seen the Justicar, I suggest we find the Radiant Host soldier first. They do all wear similar armor after all. Yeah, they wear some really good armor. Now then, let us begin our search. Okay. Are you just waiting for me to answer your question and ignore me asking you my question? Got dead. Death soldier. There's a fallen folklore. Whatever that is, it's moving. It's not. It is moving onward. Could it be one of the fiends the Justicar is after? Ugh. That must be him. But what happened? We'd never get down there quickly. We'd better get down there quickly. Looks like they went for some stuff. Aww. Not to worry, Mrawa'a. He's unconscious, but otherwise appears unharmed. Well, that's good. But what happened to him? Rocks fell. That thing's dead. The Radiant Host is unconscious. Oh, there he is. What happened? Whoa. heard you came here in pursuit of the Justicar. Do you remember anything? Yes, I eventually found him. He was confronting the fiend that now lies dead. Okay, I think I scared off the fishing scammer. We're not getting an echo for this. Interesting. Hey, I recognize this armor, sort of. At last, the Justicar graces Radz-at-Han. I shall bring unending peace to this beleaguered land. You're brave to follow in my path. Few indeed possess the mettle to even consider the terrors which threaten our home, let alone stand against them. Yet, courageous though you may be, you are far too weak to fell a beast so mighty. Quit this place with your life while you yet are able. While you're yet able. Huh? I am of the Radiant Host. If I ran from such meager prey, I would become a laughingstock. How bold to look death in the eye without flinching. I doubt not your conviction to defend Radz-at-Han. I don't believe it pales before mine. Huh? Oh, Apex, bestow upon me your divine might! Huh? Huh? Do you not heed my call? I require your power more than ever! Is something supposed to happen? Why? Am I yet unworthy? Or mayhap there's a button I must press? This is not what I expected. Oh, now he's scared. Stand aside, I'll dispose of the pest. Just give me a moment. It cannot end like this. I won't make me a fool. Come on, you moldy trick and work. Transform me into the hero of Radz-at-Han. Huh? What? That man could have gotten a serious concussion out of this. He brandished that idol and became withered in a mysterious light. Then boulders started falling from the sky. Down they came, one after the other. That's when I must have been struck unconscious. I recall only faintly, but I think I heard the man mumbling quite sadly, as if he had come upon a sudden revelation, or as if he was overtaken by madness. Why not both? Why not Zoidberg? It seems he got away unscathed. Either he had an incredible stroke of luck, or whatever he was beseeching to actually answered. Then it is as I suspected. This Justicar is the self-same thief who stole the perch of the apex. But no doubt he's long apart from here. First, I'll escort this fellow back to Yedimad and keep a close eye on him. Head wounds can have dreadful after effects. Boy, do I know that. The sergeant made his way to Radz-at-Han to make a formal report. And what another report it will be! His account seemed to align with legends of a treasure's power. The wielder escaped unharmed and brought ruin to those around him. Could those falling rocks have been a freak accident? I'm not so sure. It's clearly the after effect. You won't believe it! He came back! Seriously? Okay, back. Just a car. Yes, not long after you left. Huh. He said he beat up the monster that knocked out a Radiant, and he was laughing his head off. Did he really do that? Is he really stronger than Radiant? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I cannot say for sure, lad. Well, my mate can't stop talking about him. He wants to be just like the Justicar. His mom and dad weren't happy about that though. That is because your parents have actual insight of worldly experience. I'd advise you and your friend to look for a different role model. But we thank you for telling us what happened. I didn't give an accent. That was weird. Huh. Well, there is one last fiend skulking about, I suppose. He may have been simply testing the treasure's capabilities. As far as we know, he's yet to use its power to evil ends. I find his motivation a mystery. To steal the perch of the apex by force, only to come here to Fafnir and use it for good? It makes no sense. You've heard tell of the dispatches of the bound, yes? And they have ventured to Jalil claiming to be their victims. Yet, here they would be saviors? If he had such noble goals, then why did he stoop to such devious deception? What could he be plotting? Enriching himself in some way. This is self-gratification. But that's neither here nor there. He stole from my people, and that misdeed can't be forgiven. The perch of the apex helped us win peace. By its might, our forebears built the foundation of the lives we now lead. Until recently, it stood silent, a symbol of our pride as a people. It has reminded us that we carved out a home within that hospitable wilderness. Being trusted with the protection is a great honor. I was so proud of my father when the elders chose him, so proud of his daughter. Yet, since the day it was stolen, some of the other villagers made their disdain towards him only too clear. I couldn't bear it. That's why I must take it back, to restore my village pride and my father's reputation. Of course. There's still so much we don't know about the Justicar, but we have to assume that he's learned to wield the apex power. I can't say whether those falling rocks have anything to do with it, but I won't discard it outright. I'll continue looking into the whereabouts. His whereabouts. While we still have so many questions, with both of us working together, we'll find the answers soon enough. So yes, Power Forgotten. Okay, listen everyone in chat. If you see this in a VOD, if you see this on YouTube, if you see this anywhere, if you see a young an upstart streamer, don't take advantage of them. I don't know why I have to say this, but don't take advantage of people who are just starting out and try to find their legs. Every goddamn week, I have to deal with either with this or some bot offering me fake viewers. I don't want any of that shit. I don't have the means to use emotes right now. I don't have any of that. I don't want emotes right now because I haven't even gotten to that point. Give me time. let me first get enough viewers. Let me actually achieve affiliate before I can actually use the damn emotes. A brand of justice. Typically wears a troubled expression. Mrawa'a. I'm afraid there have been some developments that are less than encouraging. News of the Justicar's actions have spread throughout the city, and with each retelling, his deeds become more valorous. The younger citizens in particular seem to view him as something of an idol. Yes, it's the over-exaggeration of youth. Despite the creatures he comes posing no real danger, he will paint them as mighty beasts in need of felling. Of course, the alien hosts are far too busy to trouble themselves killing every pest that casts sideways glance at the city's gates. Yet the Justicar has twisted circumstances to his advantage. He proclaims to anyone who'd listen that the radiant hosts shrink with terror before these beasts, and that he's the only one who can eradicate them. I alone can protect you. Everyone else sucks. I am amazing. This is what's happening here. He is devaluing the actual people that are doing their best out there, while elevating himself with stolen valor. Though you might expect such claims to be dismissed as wild ramblings, it seems no few people have fallen for his ploy. The whispers of his exploits among the youth have particularly grown into a clamor. Yet we mustn't be discouraged, for his increasing fame only makes it easier for us to sniff out his trail. And where's better to start with than Radz-at-Han? I'll see you there, Mrawa'a. Odds are, whoever the Justicar is under that mask, he's someone who lives in comfort and is envious of people that are able to achieve respect by having done amazing deeds. Odds are he wants whatever they have. Because his target was... I mean, it was something that anyone good with a weapon could take down in this area. Okay. Given how large the city is, let's put up to cover more ground. I already have a destination in mind. The High Crucible. I hear the alchemists there can concoct all manner of tinctures and powders, including those which help in detecting traces of energies left behind by magics and enchanted tools. Fallen rocks have invariably marked locations where the Justicar has performed one of his feats, and I believe An alchemical mixture can help us determine if their presence is the work of the treasure. It's hardly an expert in such concoctions, though, so I'll seek advice at the High Crystal. While I'm doing that, I would ask that you go to the Hall of the Radiant Hosts and see if they have any new information on the Justicar's whereabouts. Does that plan sound agreeable to you? Yes, let's do this. Great. Now we both have our tasks, let's go get them. I'll meet you back here once my business is done. Actually, let me check something. Okay. Just checking if we have all of you. Hey, this little red voice in. How you doing? I'll be on my best behavior until forge a pact. There's nothing short of a dream come true to be in this world until it is required to remain. Hell yeah. Oh. I'm tired of hearing about this Justicar. His popularity among the city's younglings is quickly becoming a cause for concern. Try as we might to refute his claims that the Radiant Hosts are allowing monstrous beasts to run amok, unchecked. You know how young minds are, impressionable and difficult to change once set. We initially regarded him as a boastful eccentric, but his alarming sway over the populace can no longer be ignored. We are at the present considering whether or not to open a formal investigation into his activities. It's like I'm saying, the guy is likely some kind of rich person with perhaps experience in manipulating people, business deals, etc. Saying the right words. You and this ally of yours have done well in your search for this far. You even have a working theory about the falling stones. Quite impressive. Several of our number have encountered him during their patrols, only to lose sight of him under a hail of rocks. Such incidents have become all too frequent, and many in our ranks demand we act. For now, I'm afraid this is all the help I can offer. Please share what I've told you with your companion, and together we may yet amass this Justicar. I think it pisses me off especially that this guy's doing this, because he's doing it in a city where the guards are actually doing their work and they're doing their best to help the people around them. Now, having met many Radiant Host members in Endwalker, this person is clearly detached from reality. The reality of what's happening, the reality of who's doing the work around here. All they have to luckily know is comfort and getting what they want. Starting to know that the Radiant Hosts are taking this seriously. Thank you for speaking with them, Mrawa'a. I have good tidings as well. I've explained the situation to the alchemists, and they provided a powder that should help detect traces of magic in the surrounding environments. I say help, because the powder reacts only faintly on its own. To function properly, it requires the skills of one practiced in the arcane arts. Luckily, I have you! I've committed the locations of all sightings of the Justicar to memory, and the closest to us was the perfume rise. Let's hope that this power works as intended. Powder. go to the great work. Now, unlike other weeks, we're not going to be having any streams until Friday. It's just going to be Monday and Friday for the next 5 weeks or so. As we're doing the role quests, there's not any side quests for us to do. Fuck you! I'm getting a goddamn bot in chat now. It's always two there. Always the bot and always the fisher. Okay. The Jessica was set near here, and I didn't see any other conspicuous stones around, so I sprinkled the powder over this one. Over the one. Now concentrate your focus or inner eye or whatever it is that you that the locus of your power, and see if you can detect any unnatural forces. Rangyo Ringekyu, Rangyo Ringekyu. Come to me. This is Rock. Tell me your secrets, Rock. Rock, tell me your secrets. I see. Well then, in that case. So, were you able to detect anything? Blah 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 blah. I knew you could do it. So, please, because there are no crystals in the rock, the energy you detected must be the remnants of some kind of spell. And is that right? And taking the story of the Radz we rescued previously into account, we can conclude that the Justicar used the treasure to call those stones down from the sky. At least, we now have an inkling of its true nature. Even so, not every question has been answered. The Radiant told us that even as the Justicar stood before the creature, he seemed to have trouble calling forth the apex power at first. My father once said that the perch of the apex is much like the one he uses to weave his magics. Of course, the main difference between them is the unique nature of the essence stored within the treasure. I only know such arcane instruments, but you must be quite familiar with them. How do you use yours? I channel Ifrit with. I see. Even with the right instrument, spellcasting requires the use of specific techniques. The Justicar seemed to lack any such expertise, so how did he tap into the treasure's power? I suppose the perch of the apex possesses some unique method of activation. When I spoke to the representatives of the other tribes about their treasures, no one mentioned special techniques being required. Not that the relics should have much in common to begin with. You two, did you see an Ori girl pass through here by herself? I'm afraid not. What happened? Wait, I recognize you. Both the hero of the final days and our recent visitor to Role. Apologies for the imposition, but may I beg your assistance? It's all that Justicar's fault. The girl still has... The girl said she was off to join the Fool's Crusade and ran out of Yerimat before anyone could stop her. She's a child. What is she doing? Her mother begged us to find her, but if she's following the Logisticar, she could be anywhere. See, he's been sighted at locations scattered all over Fafnir. We can't stand here looking at rocks while a girl is in danger, especially if the Justicar is involved. We have to help. That'd be much appreciated. We've been searching places where the Justicar has been spotted before, so perhaps you could start where he hasn't been seen. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Good idea. As far as I know, he hasn't been sighted in the Norfolk shores. Come on, Mrawa'a. To the north we go then. I'm so pissed that I keep getting these kind of people trying to fish for stuff. If that is the first thing on your mind when you go to a new streamer, fuck you. Is that okay? I don't see her anywhere. I hope she's safe. Well, I found the girl. Oh. It's okay, lass. It's over. I heard fighting, so I came as fast as I could. It's good that you arrived in time to save the girl. Thank you, mister. Thank you. I'm glad you're safe, but your mother must be worried sick. You shouldn't wander off like that, especially not to look for a trickster like the Justicar. Ooh, bad start. What? You mean he's a Batman? Yes, exactly. He stole an important treasure from my village, and now he's using it to make himself look brave. But he needs it to kill the monsters to protect us. That's no excuse for stealing. He might have fooled you younglings, but the raiding hosts know what he's up to. But he said he'd save us from the monsters. He's our hero. The Radiant said we shouldn't be scared. But we all know that the Justicar is the one who keeps us safe. He's literally just arrived here. What are you talking about? What are you leading the Radiant anymore? No hero can save the world alone. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say bad things about the Radiant. No, listen. Little girl, normally I am ACAB. I believe that I believe in ACAB. That said, this motherfucker is shitty as fuck. So in this case, the Radiant are good. They protected everyone in the final days. I guess I forgot how much they care about us. What are the final days? I'm sorry, too. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that after all you've been through. You said the Jessica is a thief and a trickster, But I hope it's not true. He's my hero. Mm. Well, I'd best escort her back to Ilsabard. I'll meet you there later, Mrawa'a. Okay, guess we're going back to and forth between Ilsabard and Radz-at-Han. Come fly with me. And we're in Ilsabard. The girl and her mother are united, and I think we can both give ourselves a pat on the back. They're on their way now to inform the Radiant host that all is well. I would like to apologize for before. I let my emotions get the better of me and harangued that poor girl when she was hardly to blame for anything. I really should have been scolding myself. Go on. Mrawa'a, there's something I neglected to tell you before. The man who now calls himself the Justicar came to us in the guise of a worthy merchant. Yep, he was a merchant. Makes sense. He was eager to ask about the Perch of the Apex and its history, and I was equally eager to tell him, not even considering what he might do with the information. I'm so proud of my father for being appointed as the guardian. I suppose that was trying to impress that stranger out of sheer vanity. That vanity led to my father being attacked and the treasure being stolen from under our noses. I have no choice but to make amends for my mistake and bring it back. Yet some are convinced that the Justicar acts only to serve the greater good. I couldn't accept that. He might not be as rotten as I thought. I lashed out at the wrong person. No, you were right. He's not a good person. From now on, I can't let emotions guide my judgment. I must remain calm and look at the facts for what they are. And the facts are that the Justicar has done no harm to the people of Favner. Tell that to the Radiant host who has a headache. Even so, the organization he serves, the passage of the Unbound, is evil to its very core. If his actions at my village are not villainy, I don't know what is. This situation is fraught with contradictions. I still don't know what to think. Oh, Mrawa'a. There are still too many unanswered questions. Even if he hasn't attacked anyone, his actions are stirring unrest. He's bringing chaos to the people who are still rebuilding. I agree, he speaks of justice and heroism with great bluster, yet there's something we're missing. Thank you, Mrawa'a, for your wise words. I sometimes find it difficult to keep my heart from skewing my perspective, so I'm grateful that you're here to help me see clearly. I can see clearly now. So it seems our objective isn't changed. We track down the man who stole my people's sacred treasure, whatever his intentions may be. Unraveling them comes secondary to finding the man himself. I'll continue to pour my every effort into the search, so stop by from time to time, and I may have something new to share with you. The seeds of popularity. The pack is eager to share new developments in the search for the Justicar. Mrawa'a, I hope you've been well. Since last we spoke, the Justicar has been busy felling fiends all across Fafnir, leaving a trail of witnesses behind in his wake. More than a few have reported seeing stones falling from the sky, which all but confirm our theory that the treasure is causing the phenomenon. The stories share one more peculiar commonality. It seems the pests he hunts have all been of the seedkin variety. Why he avoids beasts of flesh and blood is yet a mystery. Why indeed? Could it be because they're harder to cultivate? It bears mentioning that each of these eyewitnesses' accounts came from people who were rescued by Justicar, who invariably appears just as these creatures attack. In fact, the Justicar has been there to save the day in every single instance of seedkin-related mischief. Awfully suspicious if you ask me. I'm not the only one who thinks so. Some among the Radiant hosts have suggested that the Justicar is planning these assaults somehow, so he alone can reap the glory for affording them. I agree, and I think that this should be our next avenue of investigation. Many of these incidents occurred near the Giant Skull grounds, so we should start our search there. If we can find one of these monstrous plants before it finds hapless prey, we may be able to shed light upon the Justicar's methods. Time is of the essence, so let's leave it at once. Yeah. Someone's doing their stuff. Nice. There's a seedkin when you need it. Any moving bushes? Slithering vines? Not here in any case. Mrawa'a, I'll search the western path. Why don't you search east? If you see something, don't strike to kill. Weaken it and capture it with this rope. We'll learn much more from a live specimen. You got it. I'm on it. Huh. There we go. Ah, that kind of weekend. I've got you, Glorbo. There we go. I got him. see plenty of fauna roaming about, but the flora all seems to be of the rooted to the ground variety. Perhaps my hunch was incorrect. Behold! Marble. You found one! In fact, it's exactly as I was described. Yeah? Why don't you keep it for the time being? Bring it to the great work, and I will ask my acquaintance there to examine it with all haste. Alright, see you there. I am thinking of what to do next week. As we're doing the casting one now, could be fun to switch to the healing one next. One thing I hate about talking so much is that I get very tired very easily. Wait. Where are we going? The great work. I'm silly. Whoops. I'm just checking some things on Discord chat. We're talking about clams and how they've opened up with the ability, to wear whatever you want. It's okay. This alchemist and I spoke briefly the last time I was here. Give her the little seedkin you caught, and we'll see what she makes of it. Call the alchemist. Greetings. Mr. Stippicket told me what to expect. Well then, let's see the thing. Behold. Thing. Oops. Oh, you didn't expect it to be so diminutive. If Mr. Stippiket's intuition is correct, then I expect some interesting discoveries are in store. Okay. You've brought me quite a fascinating specimen. Indeed, I can say for certain that this creature's growth isn't natural in the slightest. Biologically, it's still but a sapling, as you can tell by its size. Yet it is the result of a specific alchemical mixture, which is used to spur the growth of seeds and mycelium to an unnatural degree. The agents have a side effect of making the creatures more aggressive, which explains why such a small specimen will so boldly attack beings larger than itself. Yet the solution requires ingredients, most rare, and the cost of procuring enough to synthesize it would be beyond the means of most. So whoever's behind this, they're likely well heeled. Yep, as we figured, it's someone with money. As for the creatures themselves, if they were all grown artificially, perhaps that explains why most of the incidents involved small seedkin. Rather than wait for them to mature naturally, the Justicar must have accelerated their growth, so that he could deploy huge numbers over a short span of time. In fact, his plan likely requires they be small, weak foes, in order to guarantee his victory. After all, the great Justicar can hardly be expected to bear the blemish of defeat. With these new details brought to light, it's almost certain he's staging these attacks on the common folk. Now we have a new perspective to guide our search. Yep. To hell with the people. He is trying to get them to worship him, never mind anything else. Perhaps he should return to Yerimat. I hear the Justicar is the talk of the village, and they doubtless have stories to share. A splendid idea, thank you. Your findings have brought us a step closer to unmasking the villain. You're welcome. Kick his ass for me. Let's hurry to Yerimat. The more accounts we have of the Justicar, the better our chances of predicting his next move. Off we go. Have a good one, Idana! Baby, now you see I'm number one, shining bright for everyone. Yeah, this is basically what my brain was like earlier when that chatter, quote-unquote chatter, appeared. Actually, you know what? Like this. I realize it's Facebook, but it's like I'm not actually going to the actual site, so whatever. Alert Radiant. Rest assured, the Radiant hosts are well aware of the Justicar. Every day we receive more reports of him combating beasts in the surrounding wilderness. These encounters are never on well-traveled roads, it seems. They occur in remote regions that we scarcely patrol, along routes that are only used by a small number of merchants and porters. We've concluded that the Justicar either has in common knowledge of the behavioral patterns of these creatures, or that he keeps close company with a merchant who travels those obscure paths. Like I said, he's likely a merchant of some kind. Someone born into opulence. And rather than achieving his goal that he wants to achieve for actually doing the thing, he wants to live vicariously through a fantasy, never mind anyone else's safety. Oh, you're hungry to learn more about the Justicar. He's amazing. I was lucky enough to catch a glimpse of him on the roads leading here, facing down a fearsome creature. I don't know how he did it, but he called down rocks from the sky to knock that thing flat. The Radiant hosts were away on patrol, so if he hadn't come to our rescue, that brute would have marched right into our homes. He shouted that he was the savior Radz-at-Han and even waved at me. Oh, he looks so impressive with that sun shining behind him. Looks like he had a Realm Reborn Hildebrand moment. I'm shaking my head. Watchful man. Eh? Don't tell me you've come chasing that half-baked savior. You might be taken in by his funny words, but anyone with experience can see that he's nothing but a charlatan. And I have a story to prove it. A merchant and all took a tumble as he was transporting his goods. Not long after here comes the Justicar, looking chivalrous as you please in his shining armor. But he offer a helping hand? No! He ran off with a nary glance backwards. He may go on about slaying beasts, but a real hero would never ignore someone in need, even if they were just suffering from scraped knees and a bruised ego. Exactly. An actual hero steps up to the plate. They don't call themselves a hero, they don't aspire to be a hero. Or even if they do, they actually live the part. Who do we have here? Mrawa'a, do you have a moment? I'm having a little trouble here. I sought this merchant out because I was told he dealt with the alchemist in the great work. I thought he might know something about the Justicar, but what else well, he's been like this ever since. I apologies. I was just surprised that you were asking me about that Batman. What connections could he possibly have with me? The fiends he fights are grown with rare alchemical materials, and we think he may be staging these encounters. Since you deal in such wares, I wondered if you might know how he came into their possession. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I've never spoken to that man. He's not exactly subtle. I very much doubt that. Perhaps he'd be more receptive to questioning from you, Mrawa'a. Okay. He seems to have an intimate knowledge of trade routes and alchemy. Who taught him, I wonder? Come now, any merchant with a nose for profit has good relations with the alchemists. By your way of thinking, any one of us could be in league with Radz-at-Han. Radz-at-Han, you said. Who is that, may I ask? What? Oh no. That's my name. I'm sorry, sir. We don't believe you. I'd be a fool to continue this charade any longer. My son Radz-at-Han is the one you know as the Justicar. To be suddenly confronted with this litany of misdeeds, I quite lost my composure. Yeah. You're his father? Then do you know how he came into possession of such rare materials and knowledge? He stole them from me. My most valuable materials and my precious maps. Yet I was the one who chose to hide the fact, and I bear the blame for the consequences. What can you tell us about him as a person? Right. Radz-at-Han was obsessed with tales of legendary heroes, even from a young age. I paid a great deal of money to have him tutored in the art of the bow. He became quite skilled at it, in fact, but not quite as skilled as his arrogance led him to believe. Due to this, and perhaps a lack of ambition, he never aspired to true greatness. So he's just cosplaying. Instead, he came to rely upon fanciful equipment and exotic potions, rather than owning the skill he had. It pained me to see him fall into dissolutedness, but he would brook no counsel. So several years ago, I gave him enough coin to support his lavish lifestyle and told him to never speak with me again. He didn't but recently, when he darkened my doorstep once more. And that was when he stole your goods. Although I would have willingly given them if he had but asked. He was running almost incoherently, saying that his heroic deeds, as the Justicar had caught the eye of someone named Abiyahi, leader of the Passage of the Unbound, whoever they are. He claimed that under the guidance of his newfound allies, he had obtained a great power enough to eclipse all heroes who have come before and shall come after, as he put it. It seems he gives what money he still has to these people. To think that for all his fanciful words, he has only deigned to grasp at hollow glory, all at the expense of Radz-at-Han. There's no greater shame for a father. Given what we know of the shadowy group, they most likely aim to sow discontent through Verjean's deeds. He may be so blinded by his own desire for adoration that he can't see whose hands are pulling the strings. More than likely, you're saying that he's being used. If that is true, then I can no longer remain silent. Despite what shame it may bring, I see now that sharing my story might be the only way to save my son. Indeed, I suggest you tell the Radiant Host at once. Of course, we'll be pouring our every effort into stopping him. Thank you for giving me a direction. I didn't imagine our meeting would end this way. Truth be told, I'm not entirely sympathetic towards Verjean. I basked in my father's reflected glory, while having none of my own to speak of. The glory Verjean seeks is similarly false. I too shall visit the Radiant Host and have them spread word of the Justicar's true nature. If these people are wise to his trickery, they will be far more likely to aid us. You still learn the legend built on lies is no match for true heroism, and how's built-in cards will fall. Yeah, see, that's the problem. He's unlike everyone else that's fighting to help people. He's trying to help himself, and he's not doing it in a good way. Floundering fame, Tsuhe appears pleased with the blow dealt to the Justicar's credibility. Greetings, Mrawa'a. Verjean's father has been as good as his word, and has confessed the truth of his son's actions to whoever will listen. Even among the younglings, far fewer sing the Justicar's praises. The tide is turning in our favor at last, and the Radiant Hosts are making ready to tighten the net. Speaking of which, they have curious news to share. They've been examining the stones left behind by the Justicar and noticed the pattern. They were all varieties of rock commonly found near the side of each encounter. For instance, near the Jansgo grounds, the Justicar seems to have called down a hail of what else but Jansgo. I have my own theories about what this means, but I'd like to hear your thoughts, Mrawa'a. The rocks weren't summoned, but moved. Indeed, the Purge of the Apex likely lifts whatever stones are nearby and brings them crashing down to Earth. If our suspicions are correct, we're one step closer to unraveling its mysteries. But despite these favorable developments, the Justicar's popularity remains a problem. Even with the recent blow to his credibility, his most ardent followers still idolize him. In fact, I hear he's handling letters to the youth of Radz-at-Han, though their contents are a closely guarded secret. All the more reason to investigate, don't you think? Once we get to Radz-at-Han, if I question people around the marketplace, could you cover the city's western quarter? That's where the younger followers tend to gather. After we've collected enough information, let's meet to share our findings. See you again at Radz-at-Han, Mrawa'a. Back to Radz-at-Han we go. Let me just pour myself a think. Because I'm getting thirsty. Soaking youth. Forget. The Justicar gave me that invitation himself, only for some thief to snatch it from right out of my hand. Huh? You believe in the Justicar too? Oh, I didn't have a chance to read the whole letter before it was stolen, but he's gathering his most devoted for a special audience. The bastard who stole my invitation is clearly up to no good. He's even muttered something about getting revenge. But who could hate someone so noble? Child, if you only knew. Oh, you're the one who's always following that Becky around. I heard she's spreading rumors about the city's savior. I won't let her harm his reputation any more than she's already has. So I have nothing to say to our lapdog. Right. Well, I'm a cat, so you're being racist. How do you feel about that? You know about the letters, me and my friends didn't get one though. The gnomes get angry if we talk about the Justicar. Understandably so. But guess what? I heard Zajal talking about him over by Radz-at-Han. He had a big grin on his face too. Does that mean the Justicar isn't a bad man like the gnomes say? The most useful clue points to the merchant Zajal having some connection to Rajan. He was last seen near Radz-at-Han. Zajal is the guy we got the map from for the Endwalker post patches. Oh, wrong place. Okay. It's true what they say. A fool and his guilt are soon parted. Hey, Zajal. Why, if it isn't one of the heroes of the final days? This isn't about the map I sold you, your companion, is it? You'll find it points the way to the vaults of Radz-at-Han III, exactly as described. I may have employed a few creative methods to entice my customers, but what merchant doesn't? I see you're as scrupulous as ever. No, a man can't fill his belly with virtue or honesty. Anyway, something tells me that's not what you're here. You're after the Justicar. Your choice of query is unusual, to say the least. But perhaps I can help you along, eh? A young man came asking for a map to open the way to Uzner. I sold him every map I had, assuring him that the one he needed was among them. So that's why you're laughing, you took advantage of a child. I suppose he found it as I hear these letters that were handed out contain a copy of a map. And they say the young fellow was the Justicar himself. Okay, never mind, fuck that guy. And he's planning a clandestine meeting in the Uzner canals. Mind you, it appears he has no shortage of enemies. No doubt they'll try to interfere. You don't say. Technically, Radz-at-Han isn't known for large-scale criminal organizations, but that hasn't kept the less scrupulous citizens from dirtying their hands when their times are desperate. From what I hear, bandits seeking to rob trade caravans keep running into the Justicar during his fiend-felling exploits, causing their raids to end in failure. Like as not, they try to infiltrate his group of following and settle the score. Okay, so likely by accident he saves the day. And that's where my knowledge of the matter ends. If you're wondering where the meaning places, all I remember is that the spot marked on the copied maps is somewhere in the shroud of the Sagma. So, does that answer your queries? Yep. Thank you. Okay, Tepeke. We ride. After I find you. Then, we ride. There's the spice seller. Spice seller, give me your strongest spice. The Municipal Jessica didn't seem surprised when I told them of his misdeeds, but still they were reluctant to betray him. In short, I've had no luck. What about you, Mrawa'a? There we go. Your investigative abilities never cease to amaze me. As for this gathering Rajan's planning, I suspect it's some scheme to prop up his flagging popularity. Even so, many of his devotees are younglings, ill-equipped to make the perilous journey to the meeting place. If they've any sense, rather than attempt to travel there directly, they'll stop at settlements along the way to rest and confirm the route. You said the map led into the Shroud of the Salma, yes? That means Palaka's Stand is the closest settlement. I hear many took refuge there during the final days, and now bustling town of its own right. The arrival of more people would hardly raise eyebrows, making it a perfect place to avoid unwanted attention while they make ready. We should head there before they leave on the final leg of their journey. Okay. I wish these were voiced. I was right, Mrawa'a. Many of the youths are carrying pieces of parchment. Those must be the letters. Yet it seems my reputation has preceded me. Our suspected followers clearly avoid me whenever I try to approach them. Still, we can use this to our advantage. None of them will dare leave Palaka's Stand while there's a risk I might follow after. I'll keep watch over their comings and goings, but we'll make sure to leave obvious blind spots. If one of these Justicar's followers attempts to escape the village, I'm going to go after them. Now, find a vantage point that affords a good view while keeping you hidden. Once you've started pursuing our eluding target, I won't be far behind. Okay. We're doing the stealth thing. Again. That's our mark. Time to follow them up. Someone there? I'm in the clear. I need to hurry. Try not to be too fast. Just fast enough. Where is it? That point's here. Duty complete. Okay, where's the entrance? The portal should be nearby, and then I'll finally meet him. You're the hero who saved us from the final days. What are you doing here? I'm here to meet the supposed Justicar. So you're working alongside the woman that I saw at the village. I heard about the rumors she's spreading, but I had no idea she's enlisted your aid. The Justicar saved me, you see. I was transporting goods for a local merchant who was too miserly to even hire a proper escort. A ferocious creature ambushed me, but my savior appeared from nowhere and saw off the beast. I owe him my life. That's why I came here, to see if there's any truth to the rumors. But now instead I'm in over my head. I'm going back home. Here, you can have the map. I'll just you to take the measure of the Justicar and to share the truth with us all. Good kid. Truth will come out, whether he likes you or not. Apologies for watching from the shadows, but I was afraid that Brez might have started the lad. I was able to hear what he said though, and his gratitude towards the Justicar seemed genuine. Dare say the other followers feel similarly. Well, now that we have a map of our own, let's open a portal and confront Radz-at-Han. Open sesame. Whoa. Have I been in this place before? Huh. Oh, people are... Oh, no. The hell did he do? Everyone's hurt. Okay, this guy stands out. What a sight. Did the treasure cause this? Nice heals. Oh my, if it isn't the hero who saved Radz-at-Han, nay, the world itself! I've never expected someone so vaunted to attend my audience, but I am honored nonetheless. Enough of your games, Radz-at-Han. Stop this menace at once. After giving us such a warm welcome, these are the thanks I get? Well, 'tis true that I was once known by that name. 'Twas merely a guise I wore until I discovered my true self. You're not a hero. As long as I am the masked hero of Radz-at-Han, I shall not suffer any to call me Varajan. But that is your name, isn't it? Why don't you try? Why don't you drop the act and try to be a true hero? A true hero, you say? Indeed. Perhaps casting aside this mask is a price I must pay for the adoration I am due. The adoration you're due. He reminds me of Hancock. Very well. My now sharing true for Radz-at-Han. Let it be known that the Justicar is Varajan, and Varajan is the Justicar. What are you saying? You unleashed the purge of the Apex upon your own followers. You know its name? Wait, I remember you. The girl from Dawntrail, yes? Your village's artifact is not discriminating and it's rough. Some among my followers harbored wicked intentions, and it brought sorrow onto my enemies. The true of heart caught in the aftermath were merely unfortunate. But they believed in you, even though you tricked them. What kind of a hero are you? I have had enough of you. You too, you would oppose me? I had fought it as a fellow savior. As fellow saviors. We might find some common ground, yet it would seem we are destined to walk different paths. Why does it smell like urine? Now faced with the unknown peril, a great fervor rages within me. Oh no, he's dropping more rocks. However, here's not where we shall match wits. No, a more fitting battleground is in order. We'll meet again soon. You have my word. This idiot. Ah, shut up. Ah! Wait, he didn't run? Okay, now you're out. So can you tell us what happened here? Yeah. He gathered us all around and made a grand speech. Claimed he was the hero that would drive back the flood of fiends threatening Fafnir. Then he spoke of his anger at the recent rumors. He told us to go forth and repair his damaged reputation, so that the people would love him again. He became quite impassioned, in fact. As for us two, we were here to teach him a lesson, biding our time until his back was turned. But we couldn't stomach his self-righteous drivel any longer. Even baddies have standards. He acts like he's a god, came to grace Fafnir, but most people have grown wise to his tricks, including the Radiant host. We stepped forward and told him as much, then demanded that he admit his being pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. That's when he started waving that thing about. We soon learned that the rumors of his power were true, and the rocks started falling down around us. Even us true believers were not spared. There was no one to run. The Justicers said such power cannot be feathered, and that sacrifices are unavoidable. And all the while he was laughing. We pleaded with him for mercy, but that just made him angrier. He flourished the object again, and yet more rogues assailed us. Luckily, because you weren't playing to the script he wanted you to play. He wanted you to worship him and call for his aid. You made him look like the bad guy because he was making himself the bad guy. It was horrible. Stones big and small raining down endlessly until you two appeared, that is. Thank you for telling us what happened. I wish we could have arrived sooner. Now just to set the thing straight. It was you two who brandished your weapons first, yes? Well, I won't deny that. But we're only trying to bring the truth of his misdeeds to light. Though we might have had some personal scores set on top of that. Before I left Palakistan, I asked the Radiant Host there to look out for anyone returning from the wilderness. I suggest you head there and seek their aid. While you're there, share with them what you told us. As for the pair of you, don't even think about running away. We have us to deal with. Nice speech. Okay. Everyone has returned to the care of the Radiant Host. As for those ruffians who meant to attack Farjan, it seems they had a history of violence in which they may soon answer. Several among Farjan's followers were dealt with serious wounds, but we can be grateful that none lost their lives. Exactly as the old saying describes, the master of the apex shall be showered with good fortune, yet leave only sorrow in their wake. The part about sorrow certainly seems true at least. We cannot but hope that Farjan's spell over the people will be broken at last, when word of what transpired here becomes common knowledge. Let's not buoy our spirits as we return to Yedimad. I think the only good fortune he has is that he wasn't squashed by the rocks. Regardless, off we go. Ever the rich and powerful who abuse their power for their own personal gain. And that man is only rich. Well, that was certainly an ordeal. Although Radz-at-Han got away, we can look back upon what transpired to plan our next course of action. It appears that the treasure takes rocks from the surrounding environment and makes them rain down upon the wielder's surroundings. However, the power seems to be somewhat haphazard, while Radz-at-Han himself wasn't struck. The boulders assailed friend and foe alike. Something else has been nagging at me as well. The stones we saw in the canal seemed quite a bit larger than the others. I don't know what to make of it, but I will give it some thought. We still don't know exactly how he controls the Apex abilities either. We must focus on these mysteries as we continue our investigation. As for Radz-at-Han himself, he was just as his father said, wasn't he? His so-called heroism is an empty charade, like a child playing at being a hero from their storybooks. He is bigly misguided, bigly under his own hype. He seems motivated by a vain desire to gain the love of the people, yet he cares nothing for their well-being. He'll learn his lesson soon enough, though. None will sing his praises after the word of what happened at Dujnar spreads. Even he must know this. I worry that his desperation will drive him to worse misdeeds. If the treasure is used with reckless abandon, it would cause untold harm. I must discuss this with the Radiant Host. Together we might be able to capture Radz-at-Han before he attempts anything drastic. Stand by for now, Mrawa'a. I'll be in touch the moment I have something to share. Behind the helm, Tsuhe wishes to share the concept of her recent delivery with you. It seems Radz-at-Han has been laying low since our last encounter. I'm sad to say, however, that my investigations have uncovered little, but still there's cause to celebrate, for I've received a letter from my mother with good tidings. My father has finally awakened from after the grievous wound dealt to him by Radz-at-Han. He's well enough to travel to Tsuhe, in fact, and may have already arrived. Of course, I'd love nothing more than to go to him, but I pledged not to return until I had the purge of the epics in hand. Besides, I'm soon to depart with the Radiant Host to try and sniff out Radz-at-Han's whereabouts before he acts out in desperation. That's why I asked that you go in my stead. As the treasure's guardian, no one living is more knowledgeable about its history than he. If you share with him all that transpired since we began our search, he may be able to point out something that we may have missed. I know it's a lot to ask, Mrawa'a, but the safety of Fafnir depends on it. And please, give my family my regards. My mother should be able to tell you where in Talialo my father is staying. Once you're finished, let us meet at the Ifrit Plaza in Radz-at-Han to share what we are learning. I'll see you then. Back to Talialo. Instant teleportation. That's our Tepeki. Okay, let's tackle Ma. Yeah, things are still a mess here. That looks nice though. That's cool armor. Tsuhe? Oh, if it isn't Mrawa'a, but I don't see Tepeki with you. Did you come alone? Yes, she wanted to check on her father, but she sworn off. I'm glad to hear my letter arrived safely and that Tepeki seems to be as tenacious as ever in our search. Our father, Netze, has already arrived here in Toliolo, but he's barely stayed in one place since. He seems desperate to help Tepeki from a distance, in whatever way he can. He told me he was traveling to the Verleonian plain in search of information he assured me was quite vital. If we wish to speak with him, he's helped us be in that area. Okay. We go up. To Jacques Doral. Let's go. Check something real fast. Wait, it's not. Son of a. Okay. Well, now. There we go. That's it, was it? Thank you, traveler. I overextended myself. I have but recently recovered from a severe injury and was a fool to confront such a beast alone. That says it. So, you're the Mrawa'a I've heard so much about. I owe you many thanks for what you've done to recover the perch of the apex. News of your progress in Favner is most heartening. Despite my position as a guardian, I never knew it could rain down stones from the heavens. Since arriving to Leolo, I've done what I can to shed light upon the Radz-at-Han, sealed within the treasure. Go on. After the nation of Tsuhe unified, some left our village to build new homes in the city. I've sought them out to see if they know anything of use. Unfortunately, none could offer insight into the treasure's magics, but one of them told me that owls lurked around this place. And since the Radz-at-Han, sealed within the perch of the apex, was once an owl, it seemed logical to pursue such a quarry. I thought perhaps I could glean something about the ancient beasts from their behavior. Like as not, some fundamental aspects remain the same even after transformation. But having heard your account, there is one fundamental difference that stands out. As far as I'm aware, no owl native to these lands possesses the ability to hurl rocks, larger or otherwise. No doubt that Radz-at-Han gained this power following his metamorphosis. I do believe, however, that it would retain an owl's core instincts. That one you fought didn't strike unprovoked. Instead, it watched me from afar with fear in its eyes. Well, this is normal behavior for most animals. I was surprised by how suddenly it descended upon me the moment I started approaching. It sensed danger and attacked preemptively. I had the same thought. The owl sensed a threat and chose to confront it rather than run from it. And this same impulse may have driven the Radz-at-Han. Indeed, that correlates with something I heard from one of my countrymen who had relocated to Leolo. He spoke of a continuation of the tales passed down from the elders. No hunter's arrow could fell the apex. It was struck down in a storm of its own wrath, made well by a heart affright. Thus was it sealed away at last. Now, judging from the owl's behavior, I can theorize that the treasure is activated when its bearer says danger. And according to the story, this power can easily get out of hand if the bearer is panicked. Of course, the theory must be tested first. Radz-at-Han will certainly use the Verge of the Epics again. When he does, I ask that you and Tepeke pay special attention to circumstances leading to its activation. You have my thanks. Loath though I am to admit it, I've yet to recover from my long convalescence, and would only be a burden to you. I wish I could aid you. I could aid my daughter in another way, but you more than make up for my absence. Please lend her every bit of knowledge you have, Mrawa'a. I pray that my daughter will soon return home, treasure in hand. I promise you that will happen. Pray return to Becky and give her my regards. In hope that an old man's wild theory can help you in your quest. From one old man to another, you've done more than enough. Thank you. Now let's go. We have a hero to subdue. Mrawa'a, you've come just in time. Radz-at-Han has shown his face in Radz-at-Han. You can tell me about your journey to the little later. For now, come with me. Okay, what's he gonna do? Ha ha ha! Are you surprised? Thanks to the sage counsel of a fellow hero, I have decided to doff my mask. Although my face may be unfamiliar, I believe you know who I am. I was once the Justicar, but now you may call me Radz-at-Han. I am Fafnir's protector, its savior, its hero. You may have heard salacious rumors that I have orchestrated the very attacks which I so violently drive back. That I was behind the catastrophe at the Ujnar canals. I am here to assure you that those are false aspersions, all cast by those who are envious of their betters. Envious of their betters. Again, he fails to be a hero, because he's looking at this as a way to gain fame without earning it himself. I give my life for the fair city and its people, and I would give more, still, if I could. What should we do? It might be best to lock him up before this gets out of hand. Wait, we don't want him raining down rocks with all these bystanders around. For now, keep a careful eye on him. All I ask is that you respect your adoration. A dream held by all, but realized by only by the few. And I would be one of those bigly few. I have proven myself worthy of being your savior, and now, with the entire city watching, with bated breath, I should declare my intent to reach even higher. Yes, for I can protect you all the better. As your ruler, I should retire the mantle of hero and take up the crown as the president of the king of Radz-at-Han. And everyone is stunned silent. The fuck? The bastard's gone mad. A willpower insatiable. With me on your throne, you would never again have cause to fear. All would live in peace. All would shower me with love. They would shout to the very heavens. And from that love would spring a new Radz-at-Han. A greater Radz-at-Han. He just wants to make Radz-at-Han... Okay, I'm not gonna say that. Enough of your lies, Radz-at-Han. The power you wield protects none but yourself. To everyone else, it brings only ruin. Of course, the road of greatness is ever paved with necessary sacrifices. Yet so long as your ruler lives, Radz-at-Han shall know naught but prosperity. Then go back to being a merchant, idiot. You think you're better than the master of Ritra? He bore a city on its people on his back, while you look fit to collapse under the weight of your own armor. You're no leader. You're a damn joke. Ah, does this man speak for you all? Is there not one among you who would follow me into the brighter future? Ah, but I am nothing if not magnanimous. Until you find the wisdom to accept me as a ruler, I shall continue to stand vigilant as your eternal shield. Stop this, Radz-at-Han. You're only making it worse for yourself. Can't you see you've become a laughingstock? Give up the facade and answer for your sins. Do so now, and the Radiant Host may yet grant you mercy. My sins? Are you not the one poisoning the people against me? Do your worst, I dare you. You only make me more powerful. I know not what is in your heart, but please end this madness. End it and return to me, my son. He just wants his son back. Are you seriously scared of your father? Don't get any closer! You two. Why are you... Oh my god. Oh! He's trying to goad everyone to attack him. Don't! If you fight here, there's no telling how many innocents will be wounded. This guy's an egomaniac. I can't. Pathetic as ever. I tire of this farce. I have declared my intent to become king of Radz-at-Han. As for you two, this is no place for a battle between heroes. We shall meet again, mark my words, and then we shall decide who is the mightier. Battle of Heroes requires heroes. There are only two heroes here, and both of them are Miqo'te. Or Hatsaru in her case. Don't. Can't risk a confrontation in the city. You're right, of course. As much as I hate to see Radz-at-Han walk free, we've yet to ascertain the extent of his power. For now, we must bide our time. I noticed that despite all his proclaimed love for his people, he didn't even look back at them as he retreated. Perhaps he couldn't bear to look at them in the eyes. Or one of them, at least. Oh, my son. How could you do this to me? A son should never betray their father like this. This one kind of hits hard because my dad is in a kind of a my dad needs help with a lot of things now, and I try to help where I can. And this guy just keeps making things worse for his father. I just had a thought. We should speak with Vershan's father, Mrawa'a. That was a disaster. Vershan is really lost. At the very least, he's committing himself to fomenting unrest within at the very least. He's committing himself to fomenting unrest within Radz-at-Han. Although he is my son, I cannot condone his actions. His words are grand but empty, and that ridiculous armor is nothing more than a gaudy decoration. He's truly the embodiment of false heroism. What's more, this latest debacle has surely made him a criminal. He has the Radiant Host. All I can do now is beg them to grant my son some small degree of clemency. Before you go, may I ask you something? After Vershan called down the rocks, did you see his expression? I thought it peculiar, but I'm curious as to what his father saw in that face. It was a familiar look. When I used to scold him for losing himself in make-believe, he would get that same cast in his eyes. A look of petulant rage, as if he resented me for pulling him out of his reverie and into the harsh reality. He hasn't changed. Apologies, but I must go. Just as I thought, even clad in his shining armor, he can't bear to be told no. Exactly. And now his childish games have taken a malevolent turn. He's a man-child. But for now, we should return to Yenimat. I still have yet to hear what you learned in Tuliolo, after all. Essentially this. Now that we have some room to breathe, I'd like to hear about your journey to Dawntrail. Did my father have anything to share? I'm heartened to know that he's well enough to go chasing after owls and such, though he'd take more care. Thank you for saving him and for bringing me his theory concerning the treasure. If it is really triggered by a sense of impending danger, that might explain why Vershan had trouble using it the first time. He wasn't truly afraid of the small fungi until it was almost upon him. It also explains how he can wield the apex powers despite having no training in magics. It responds to emotion, not intent. So much is falling into place. He goaded the Radiants into apprehending him because he knew the threat would be answered. You saw how nonchalantly he quit the plaza, almost as if defying someone to stop him. Vershan truly believes himself to be untouchable. I think his words and deeds align with the theory well enough. As for that curious fragment of a story, it seemed to imply that the Drow lost control in a panic. Perhaps its strength grows in proportion to the danger it senses. And when that danger is too great, well, you saw what happened at the Ojnar canals and Radz-at-Han. You were present both times, as were others who wished Vershan ill. And both times, we saw stones much larger than we've seen before. Now I understand why he's so eager to face you. As opponent of your caliber will strike fear into Verjan. An opponent of your caliber will strike fear into Verjan's very core. That fear will summon a power greater than any he's ever known. Power enough to bring a hero to his knees. Or so he thinks, but we know better. We use that ignorant arrogance to our advantage, and bring him crashing down to the earth. Although we may have to contend with falling rocks at a time, in a straight fight he'll be matched. So we strike fast, and we strike hard, until that fancy armor is nothing more than mangled steel. Although you may prefer to put your foes to sleep and whatnot, we know he has an arsenal of alchemical concoctions at his disposal. That's why I suggest a bit of good old-fashioned brute force. While you unleash your most fierce destruction spells, I'll be your shield. Don't even think of holding back. Alright? I look forward to fighting by your side. Now we simply have to find a suitable arena. I shall consult the Radiant Host as to the location. Once that is decided, we'll confront Verjan for the final time. Heroes and Pretenders. The pack is ready to tear down a false hero. Dynasties and dystopias. You will be pleased to know that Radiant Hosts were most helpful in finding a place to fit a duel. Fit for a duel. When I saw it, even I began to believe that our encounter would be one for the songs. Speaking of which, it seems your name is on the lips of all and sundry. The people already consider you the true savior of Radz-at-Han, and believe you will bring Verjan the deceitful to justice. We apologize for putting so much weight on your shoulders, but something tells me you're used to it. The final showdown shall take place in the mountain pass leading to Kladga, where great crystals will stand as witnesses to its conclusion, slowly romantic and slowly isolated. The Radiant Host has spread word throughout Fafnir that a hero has arisen to challenge Verjan, and his pride will force him to answer. The entrance to the pass is at the Giant's Gold Grounds. Let's head there at once to wait his arrival. Let's head there. Let's make it happen. I know where we're going. It's a little path. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh boy, combat time. Here he comes. There he is. Through the cragged peaks of Kaiju-Z, dissonant winds blow over the field of battle. Oh, what a fitting location you have chosen for our conclusion of this legendary rivalry. Ah yes, truly. Van Belsar, Solus. Xenos. No, you dwarfed them all, buddy. I was right not to face you before. An environment suited to a struggle between titans. Now my patience has been rewarded, and my heart races in anticipation. I knew you would answer our challenge. You would never be able to stomach the people calling you Craven. Ah, you're right. Such boldness in the face of impending doom. Have you not realized by now that so long as I wield the perch of the apex, I am invincible? We'll soon put that to the test. You rely too much upon stolen power. It deludes you. You claim to be a savior to the people, but they have seen through your lies. Even your own father can scarcely bear to look at you. You're nothing but a small man, hiding behind the hollow facade of a hero. And today we tear that facade down. Will you now? You may have the medal, but have you the puissance to claim the mantle of a hero? My mantle? Cowabunga it is. Unbound, Virashan the Deceiver. Oh boy, comedy music. The time for words is past. Follow my lead. I will follow. On guard. Today we'll learn what a true hero is. That's not even. Torch of the Apex awakens. Run! Run or be crushed under the hail of stones! Impressive footwork, but all legs must tire in time. You're fit to say that I wield potions concocted by the founders Spider's alchemists. You have done well, but your fight ends here. Alchemical minions shall be your downfall. It's a count through and through. So I'll take out my wounds. I am truly the hero we deserve indeed. Oh my god, he's such a hero. You defeated him already? Of course. Who would wish that this duel to end so quickly? Don't you ever shut up! Ah! Ah! What? My armor! My armor! The artifact! I've never seen it shine so... Such powers I've never witnessed before! The apex roars with fury untold. It's the apex power growing? Why won't you fall? Because we're stubborn. Something you know little about. Outside of your little tantrums. Ow! Watch it, Typique. Besides, it already fell. That was 2 expressions ago. This cannot be. I am meant to be king. I will not fall. I ascend to the throne. I cannot lose. Haha! Is this the bag you have? Seriously? We're both suffering grievous wounds. Perhaps we should consider this a draw? You've lost, Radz-at-Han. Lay down your weapon. Limit break. Ah! I'm utterly defenseless. This rotten piece of wood was supposed to make me invincible. I can't move. The effect is... That's... Oh boy. Okay. Here we go. What? It's out of control. The shot gets suppressive fear in his heart, and the epic says it one in kind. We have to stop it. I'm trying. can't let this. It can't end like this. I won't let it. I won't let it. Shut up. But I'm a hero. Someone save me. It'll swallow us. It'll swallow us if we don't stop soon. I'm trying. Almost. Yeah! There we go! Ugh. And it's Guieg's got un pace. Huh. You shot gold. Now to take back the treasure. What? This can't happen. A hero never falls. I must retreat. Yes, a tactical retreat. A noble retreat. So that the Justicar may live to save another day. Where's the rock when you need it? Oh. Huh? Ah! Boom! Yeah. Oh, great, he has brain damage now. Ah, yes, how did you miss the glowing thing on the floor? I suppose the Apex wasn't finished yet. And it seems the Radz-at-Han, in his cowardly haste, neglected to look skyward. Was it an unfortunate accident? I don't know. Or fate the living is just desserts. My name is Toady, and I am a tiger. It's great. He looks like he should be shredding some waves. He claimed to be Radz-at-Han's savior, yet he sowed only discontent among his people. Perhaps some days in a sunless jail will give him time to reflect upon the error of his ways. Or he maybe will still have his head up his ass. And now, I finally recovered the perch of the Apex. Thank you for coming this far with me, Mrawa'a. You're welcome. Now let's get you back home. Oh great, it's raining. The battle was hard fought, but we made it through. If Radz-at-Han is the responsibility of the Radiant Host now. And now that I've done what I pledged to do, I must return home and bring the good tidings to my mother and father. Yet before doing so, there are many others I must thank. In the meantime, can I count on you to meet my family to the LL for one final farewell? My parents will surely be glad to see you again. course. See you then. Off she goes. And off we go. You know what would have sucked during all this? If I had the artwork up the whole time, and you guys would just be listening to me podcasting, that would have been horrifying. Luckily, that was not the case. I'm not that stupid. Let's say... Well, if it isn't Mrawa'a, I'm pleased to say I'm quite recovered since last we met. Perhaps one day I'll have the chance to save you in return. I'd like to see that day. I didn't expect to see you into the other again so soon. Is Tepeke well? Yes, she is. Huh. She really did it. And the man who stole her sacred treasure will answer for his deeds. Father, Mother, it's good to see you. Baby girl. I'm sure Mrawa'a has already told you what happened. I couldn't have retrieved our treasures without him. So we've heard, yet Mrawa'a has also told us your wits and bravery were essential to your success. On behalf of our whole village, I thank you for guiding Tepeke in her quest, Mrawa'a. Ah, it was nothing. We were a good team. Now that the perch of the apex must be returned and put under careful guard once again. The story of the Role-Questlines' demise proves that we are not meant to wield its powers as our own. I'm sorry, Father, but I disagree. Once I return to the village, I want to tell everyone what happened in Tevner. They need to know what the treasure is capable of, or else we risk forgetting once again. I won't deny that the apex powers is dangerous. I saw with my own eyes what happens when it's wielded with abandon. Yet during the course of our search, I also saw potential. If we fully understood how it worked, we could use it without risk to ourselves or other people. We could turn something you once feared to our advantage, instead of letting it become obscured in legend. I can see the reason in that. We must be ever ready for danger, even in times of peace. Should our safety be threatened, the treasure may grant us a means to protect ourselves. But can we be trusted to use it responsibly? Great power breeds great desire. Someone with that same ambitions as Radz-at-Han may arise again, perhaps from among our own. I dare say that once I've regaled them with the rise and fall of the Justicar, they'll think twice before following in the misguided footsteps. As our forebears relied on the legend of the Role-Questlines' fate to forbid the treasure's use, we can rely on the story of Radz-at-Han's fate to urge caution. And this time we have someone who lived through it to tell the tale. Of course, I'm going to be guiding people in safe use of the potentially dangerous treasure. I see no choice but to inherit my father's position as its guardian. Some may raise their eyebrows at the prospect of loose-lipped Tepeke serving as the perch of the apex protector, but I've grown from my mistakes. And who better to tell the tale of Radz-at-Han and Tepeke's failures? Your only mistake was in trusting Radz-at-Han, the same as I and many others. But unlike him, you have the willpower to overcome your own failings. Over the course of your long and arduous journey, you gained the wealth of experiences, and your efforts have finally been rewarded. You took responsibility for your actions, and by so doing provided your convictions Prove your convictions to our people. They shall listen to our proposition with open minds, I am certain. Now we must say farewell, as much as it pains me to do so. I owe you a debt I could never hope to repay. Once we return to our village, I'll do my utmost to protect the treasure we worked so hard to retrieve. Until next we meet, may fortune smile upon you. And also on you. Thus ends our first of many, which is day 4, more Role Quests. But that is a story for another time, because Mrawa'a adventures are many. Many have passed and many will come. Until next time, on Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern European Summertime. Mrawa'a's adventures will take a pause. On Friday, we will continue with a single-player game. I've yet to decide which one I'm gonna go with, but I have narrowed down a list. Till then, this is Kaiju-Z, wishing everyone a safe morning, midday, and evening. Farewell, everyone. Have a good one.